But not.
Now we're recording. Well, we'll have to keep going.
All right,
Okay, we're
quickie
gonna,
recap intro.
pardon?
Quickie recap intro.
Okay, yes, quick recap intro. We talked about everything around us is feminine or masculine. Excuse me, no matter what it is. And we have to think about nouns, as we will learn in the next class, persons, places, and things, as feminine or masculine. We just had a little bit of a shared whiteboard where we saw certain nouns were feminine and certain nouns were masculine, and they didn't seem to have anything in common between them, so that you would automatically say, okay, that's a feminine noun, that's a masculine noun. So let's talk about some shortcuts that can help us. Or first of all, let's define, how do you say the words the and the words a or an, or some people say in Spanish? In other words, the board, a board. How do we say those, and how do we say those first words in Spanish? Those words are called articles, and they come before a noun in order to specify, in order to distinguish that noun from other nouns in the sentence. What do I mean by that? A definite article, there's two kinds. There's definite articles and there's indefinite articles. A definite article defines the next word. The president, the board, the television. Indefinite articles don't define the next word. A president, a television. We can feel the difference between saying the television and a television. One is preceded by a definite article, so it defines the television. The other one is vague. It's indefinite. A television could be any television. So how do we say those two words in Spanish? Now, in Spanish, we have to think in four ways. In English, we just use the for everything. We use it for singular and plural, and of course, in English, we don't have feminine and masculine nouns. For instance, we say the lamp, singular. We also say the lamps, singular, plural.
And plural.
Now, for an indefinite article, it changes a little bit. We say a lamp, but then we'll say some lamps or a few lamps. It's still not definite. It's still indefinite. But we don't change our words as much because we don't have the feminine masculine dynamic. And especially with the word the, we don't have the singular plural dynamic. But now in Spanish, we do have to think singular, plural, feminine, masculine. Is this noun singular or plural? Is this noun feminine or masculine? So let's go back to the words that we mentioned on the whiteboard. We had, let's see, televisión, mesa, right? You had table, Rita?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll use the word mesa. La mesa, las mesas. You can't say las mesa, and you can't say la mesas. If it's a singular noun, la. If it's a feminine, if it's a singular feminine noun, then it's la. If it's a singular plural noun, las. But what about masculine? We have el portátil. So the laptop, los portátiles, in order to say plural laptops.
Oh.
So this is why 4 types. We have to think, is it singular or plural? Is it feminine or masculine? What was the other masculine noun that you had, Carrie? I know you had lámpara, you had portátil, and el
Armario,
armario,
closet.
closet. Okay, so el armario, los armarios. Okay, so we're thinking las, singular plural for feminine, el los, singular plural, masculine. Now we need the indefinite pronoun. So we have we have a and an, but we still have, now we have to think singular plural, feminine, masculine. Let's use another feminine noun. You had mesa, and what was the first one you had, Rita?
Mesa was the first. Chair was
Chair,
the second,
silla,
and
silla.
television was the third.
Okay, so silla.
Silla.
So it's una silla and unas sillas. But now it's not definite. We don't know which chair it is. We know it's a chair or some chairs, but we don't know which one because we're not using the word the or la or las. So una silla, unas sillas. Now let's go back to armario, closet, un armario, unos armarios. So we have a closet, some closets. The main thing we have to think about in order to know whether to use el, los, la o las, or una, unas, un, unos, are those 4 types. Is it singular? Is it plural? Is it feminine? Is it masculine? And then we memorize which words go with which nouns. So now, how do you know whether a noun is masculine or feminine? Just by looking at it? Most of the time, yes. Here are the shortcuts that we can use. If it ends in an O, it's masculine. Libro, armario. If it ends in an A, it's feminine. Lámpara, silla, mesa. So you will be learning more and more nouns as you keep getting more and more involved in the Spanish language. And you'll start to see, oh, this ends in an A. Oh, that's an una mesa. It doesn't say un mesa. All right? So look for O, look for A. Generally speaking, it's a pretty good rule to follow. However, there are exceptions. And these are some of the most common exceptions. They are not every exception, but these are the most common ones. All right? So you have, for instance, the endings OR and ORA. Now, OR doesn't end in an O and doesn't end in an A. But generally speaking, if you see a noun that ends in OR, it's going to be a masculine noun. So you have el doctor, el actor. However, those words can be converted into feminine nouns. La doctora, la actora. Sometimes they use actora, and there is another word for actress, actriz. But that would be la. So normally if you see OR, think masculine. ORA, and that goes along with that general rule that a noun ending in a is feminine. Then you think la, las, una, unas. All right, now we have nouns that end in ente, presidente, accidente. They are generally masculine. So what would the word be before presidente to say the presidente? El.
And
Mhm. And if it's a president, un. Mhm. El accidente, un accidente, unos accidentes, los accidentes, but never una accidente.
so a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So un can be used for D as well as one.
What do you mean?
Like un and una.
What's the difference?
I think it's one, but one is male and one is female.
What's the word for one as a digit? It's an excellent question. Excellent question.
One is
Uno,
uno.
but that's a digit.
Yeah.
It's not an
Number.
it's not an article. And neither is it an adjective. And we're going to show that in a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a very good question, but uno would not go right in front of a noun. Because
Okay.
it describes the concept of one, but as a digit,
Okay.
not as a describer.
No, I wasn't speaking about un. I'm not sure I'm saying it right, if I'm saying it right, but I'm not speaking about a number and numbers. I know, like people in speaking, I heard it Spanish people say, una,
Una. Uh-huh.
right? And like describing something like one or two, not like in numbers, but like in saying like like a cup.
Exactly.
But
And
if
that's
it's
the point.
female, they say una. Is that correct?
That's correct, but that's the thing. Un does not mean uno.
No, I know it doesn't mean uno.
Okay, all right. So you can't say one cop, uno policía.
Okay.
You have to say un policía.
Okay.
Or una policía if it's a policewoman.
All right. So if it's female, you say una, but if it's a
Yes.
male, you say un.
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
But remember that doesn't just go for persons, it goes for things.
For things, yes. Like I'm saying, like the cup. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Now here's another ending. Ista. El pianista. La pianista. They both end in a, but they can go either way, depending on the gender of the person. But
Okay.
not all words that end in ista deal with people. So if they don't deal with people, then it's going to be a masculine noun. Questions?
I can't think of an example.
Okay. All right.
Electricista, but that's a person.
Right. Right. Most of them are artista, electricista, but I'm covering all my bases just in case you find one that can't
The
be
only,
either
the only
way.
thing I can think of is pista, for like the air runway strip, but
And
that's just,
that's la pista.
yeah.
So
Okay.
there's an exception. Plenty of
But
exceptions. These are general rules. Okay.
good.
Now, the biggest category that's easiest for us is the one that says sion at the end. And now it can be written C-I-O-N or S-I-O-N, but they are all feminine. Every single last one of them. Congregación, asociación, determinación,
Nación.
nación. All of them are feminine. Everything that ends in English, T-I-O-N or S-I-O-N, is feminine in Spanish. So, la asociación, una congregación, unas congregaciones. So back to what you were saying before, Rita, how would I say one congregation?
La congregation.
That's the congregation.
Oh, that's the.
A congregation.
Okay. One. Un.
Feminine.
But is it feminine or masculine?
Oh, it's feminine, so it's going to
Yes.
be una.
Una congregación. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's how un and una work.
Okay.
All right. Now here's more shortcuts. If the noun ends in ma or pa, it's masculine, even though the last letter is a. El mapa, el poema. So we'll look for ma and pa. You have to think masculine.
Oh, okay.
Now here's a very common one that throws us off, because we'll hear a Spanish speaker say la foto, las fotos, and we're hearing o at the end and we're thinking, well, why don't they say el foto? It's because la foto is short for fotografía, which does end in a. Now they know that. We don't know that until someone tells us.
Yeah. And another one I hear a lot is la moto.
La moto.
But it's motocicleta.
Motocicleta. Motocicleta. Motorcycle.
Or la bici. La bicicleta.
Uh-huh. Correct.
So they're just really common, like abbreviated words, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
So you have to know the full word.
Yes. Yes.
To see how it ends.
See, I thought I had finished this and I did not take out these extra squares.
That was a good example, good reminder.
Okay, let me just write this down that I have to take out these two text boxes. Okay.
And another shortcut one would be things that end in DAD, ciudad, they're feminine.
That's true.
Like nacionalidad.
Okay, now I don't have all of them, but I just.
But those are some common ones, good examples.
Common ones. Now, exceptions.
Always
La
exceptions.
mano. Why is it feminine? I do not know, but it is feminine. La mano, las manos, even though it ends in an O. El día, los días. So that's why we say buenos días, not buenas días.
Okay.
So, and we'll talk about feminine, masculine when it comes to adjectives in a few lessons. This is tricky. El agua, las aguas. So it's masculine in the singular and it's feminine in the plural.
Wow.
Because there's something to do with el a that grates on a Spanish speaking ear. Doesn't grate on mine, but that's the way they say it. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. El agua, las aguas. And now there are some that are both and different. In other words, you will have the same noun, but if you put a masculine article in front of it, it means one thing. If you put a feminine article in front of it, it means another. El cometa, the comet. La cometa is kite.
Kite. I did not know that.
I know you know this one. El cólera is cholera, the disease. La cólera is anger.
What?
Yes. Yes.
That's a curveball.
And yes. I really learned that when I was in Ecuador, and we had that huge cholera epidemic where they were shutting down entire public hospitals because of it.
So that was el cólera.
That was el cólera.
Mm.
El policía is the policeman. La policía doesn't only mean policewoman, it also means police force.
Wow.
Really?
So we have to learn. We have to absorb as many nouns as possible, and also what they are. Are they masculine? Are they feminine? And el testigo and la testigo. So
They both end in O.
both end in O, even though la testigo would be a female witness. We don't say la testiga. So yes, necessary for us to know.
And
Okay.
official court business.
Yes. So here's your homework. I want you to listen to 3-minute audios or videos, whatever you wish. And I'd like you to write down all the times you hear el, la, los, las, un, una, unos, and unas. And what I wouldn't like you to do is make one chart where you're just counting how many times they appear. I'd like you to actually write them out.
So
But-
try to get the article with the noun.
No. Just the word el, la, los, las, un, una.
Just the articles. Okay.
Just them. Mm-hmm.
So just listen for articles.
There you go.
Okay, good.
Because next
Good
lesson,
ear exercise.
yes, next lesson, we will be talking more about persons, places, and things. And we will be talking about el and how el can be either, rather, a definite article or a person.
Okay.
All
For
right?
next time.
Yes. Friday at 8 o'clock.
8. Okay.
Yes. Muchas gracias.
A
And
usted.
hasta viernes.
Buenas
Hasta
noches.
viernes.
Hasta viernes.